And you were in mid-sentence about what you liked best about the organization, and then what do you like least?
Yes, again, what I like best about the organization is the people that I have become friends with as a result of the organization. As well as, and again, I've mentioned this so many times in this interview, is the validation I get as a person. For it's okay to be gay, and it's okay to like black men, and it's okay to be concerned about issues of race relations. That I like best about the organization as well. I think in terms of what do you like least about our organization? Well, I least like that I still don't have a lover after 19 years. No. No, I don't blame that on the organization. We touched on this also before, that what I like least, I think, is my frustration with fellow whites who are unwilling or unable to deal with their own racism in this organization. And again, the assumption that many of us have as we come into the organization is that we're not here to deal with race relationships in my heart and in yours. We're here to deal with the racism out there in the greater, larger world, the larger community. And I don't like that about this organization, and I wish we'd find a way to better focus on ourselves first before we can even deal with it out there in the greater society.
Well, what are among your happiest recollections of the organization? What have you really enjoyed the most? What really stands out in your mind? And conversely, what are the saddest memories you have?
The greatest times with the organization is always the camaraderie felt when on the local level, when you go to meetings and you go to social groups and you're around a lot of people that are like you in many ways, and there's a lot of love shared and a lot of friendship shared, and also on the national level that you can feel you can go to a city and meet people and be with people, and you have a real immediate and fast connection with people by the fact that they're involved in the same organization as you, and that it's a shortcut to becoming friends when you meet somebody as part of the organization. You can become friends, you can become closer friends much more quickly than you could with just someone that you meet otherwise. And that camaraderie, too, that you have when you go to events that are maybe BWMT events of a local chapter of another city on the other side of the country, you can immediately feel comfortable at that kind of event because it is sponsored and put on by the organization. And so my happiest moments are always when we're together. We're together and we experience new things together because we're all coming from different cities to attend a board meeting in a city that almost none of us live in, and we're experiencing this new city together, and at the same time we immediately have something in common with each other because we're part of the organization. And was there a second part to that question?
Saddest?
Oh, the saddest. Well, the saddest, of course, is the destruction of what AIDS has done to our organization. Being that we are an organization of gay men, and in this country, that's gay men have been hit very hard by AIDS. Fortunately, it looks like we're getting out of AIDS, at least here for us in this country, but the saddest thing is when each year now at our conventions, we have a memorial service and we read the list of names of people that have died and passed away from AIDS. That's always the saddest for me. Because you think of for every one person that's there at a convention, were it not for AIDS, there'd be 5 additional people who would be there. And the extraordinary people that I've met in this organization and then had to say goodbye to, that's the saddest thing.
Well, you've touched on this before, but what do you think is the future of this organization? Do you think it has a future, nationally or locally?
I'm not sure, frankly. I'm not sure. Part of me is quite pessimistic. I mean, we see a lot of local chapters dying or becoming defunct, including our own here in LA. We see the national struggling with finding people willing to do the work and keep the organization together, keep our national office together. There's part of me that's very pessimistic in that sense, that people seem to be losing interest in continuing to do the work of our statement of purpose, or at least do the work of our statement of purpose through the organization. Maybe they want to do it some other way. And then there's another part of me that's optimistic because of the people that are still in the organization and are still wanting to do it. And every time I talk to anybody in the organization, everyone says how important the organization is to them and how much it has helped them. And so the optimistic part of me says, well, if that kind of love for the organization can hold us together and ensure us a future, well then I feel a little bit better. So one day the glass is half full, and the other day the glass is half empty. So it's also, here we are sitting in November of 2001, and not to get off the subject or anything, but we have a president who dubiously elected within a year of being in office, as our economy is in quite bad shape, as well as we're at war. These are the facts. So in general, it's hard for me. I have the same optimism, pessimism regarding the future of the country. And I think our organization is very closely linked to the concept of democracy and what our country is as well, and freedom. And that our organization can only exist in a country such as the United States, or other countries as well, but in the United States, in a democratic environment, in a democracy. And so, if the whole thing goes down, of course, there goes the MA as well. So if do you have other questions, or?
No, I really don't. Is there anything you would like to add?
Well, to all my friends out
Anything
there.
we haven't covered?
To all my friends out there. No, I can't think of anything. I would like to leave it, though, with a more positive note, and that I think if each one of us decides to commit to try and do something positive for the organization, however small, let's not each of us think of that we're going to cure the ailments of DNA on our own, but that if we can each try and think of something that we can each do individually and positively towards this organization to ensure that glass is half full and that we do have a future. If we can each commit to doing something towards an organization, because I know it's such an important, integral part of my life, and is for so many of the other members in the organization, that being such an important, integral part of your life, you have to do a little work towards keeping it together. And I think that's what it'll take to make sure we have a future. And I also would like to thank you, Doug, for what you're doing here is, if we know our past, we can know our present and ensure our future too. And I thank you very much for doing this, what you're doing.
Well, thank you for participating, for helping earlier, for your service to the organization, and for being my good friend all these years.
Thank you, Doug.
very much.
Thank you. That's it.